Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is day number 20 of our mindful mornings together. And I wonder if everybody remembered the time change. And falling back, I always used to say, it's my favorite day of the year because we had an extra hour. Anyway, this whole thing of our attitudes and of this positive yes attitude. So I just flipped over to page 20, actually page 34 here, where it says internal happiness is at the beginning of positive attitude, not the achievement of it. Internal happiness is the beginning of positive attitude, not the achievement of it. And thinking of like this, yesterday we were talking about where positive attitude is the foundation for everything. And that our positive attitude does not depend on the circumstance, does not depend on the situation. It comes from inside. It's not what's going on around on the outside. And that positive attitude, it's up to me to do this work. It's not dependent on anything outside of me. And then on page 35, starting to realize that attitude is my choice, not my circumstance. Attitude is the way that I respond to the situation, not the situation itself. I have control over the way that I choose I have control over the way I choose and the way I respond. Attitude is not something that, he says here, attitude is not something that I can understand in one read. Read the last 15 pages until you are certain you have a firm understanding of where the balance lies between negative, positive, and yes. So attitude is not something that I can understand in one read. I need to reread the last 15 pages until I'm certain I have a firm understanding of where the balance lies between negative, positive, and yes. So what's the difference? It's a positive attitude. He says that positive attitude happens when you think it will happen. Positive attitude happens when you make it happen. You acquire your attitude over time. It's based on your family, your environment, your friends, and the things you expose yourself to. It's also based on your experience in school, with friends, jobs, and other episodes that continue your life. The lesson here is pretty obvious. If you grew up in an unhappy household where your parents put you down, it would have been a struggle for you to be a happy person. Internal happiness is the beginning of positive attitude, not the achievement of it. Some people will grasp the fact that all of the attributes that you need to have to achieve your yes attitude are already inside of you. They may have been suppressed for years in the form of negativity, but all you have to do to change your focus and your outlook, and your yes attitude will follow. So some people will grasp the fact that all of the attributes that you need to achieve yes attitude are already inside of you. They're already there. So there's nothing that I have to go and get. And he said, everyone is actually born happy, and yet it takes years to figure that out. And a positive attitude happens when we start to use it, when we start thinking. So positive attitude happens when I think it will happen. It's this thinking process that we have, that I have, that everyone has, that I have the ability to think, I have the ability to accept or reject, I have the ability to choose, I have the ability to make a decision. And so I decide how I want to feel. I decide what I want to think about. Attitude is my choice, not my circumstance. Attitude is a way that I respond to the situation, not the situation itself. You know, this takes right from like what it says at the very beginning, that it's about how I dedicate myself to the way I think. This is a dedication, the way I dedicate myself to the way that I think. And so if my attitude is my choice, not my circumstance, attitude is the way that I respond to the situation, not the situation itself. Wow, you know, there's just a whole lot of thoughts that come racing forward. Well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And yet attitude it's not situational. It's not about the situation. And so can I believe that? Can I just hold the possibility of that, of being able to actually live that way? And just take that into consideration. And if that's truly, if somebody is able to do that, then anybody is able to do that, which means then that I'm able to do that. And absolutely, I can do it when everything is going my way, when everything is, you know, kind of the way that I would like it to be, or even, you know, like, and yet what about times when it isn't and things seem completely contrary? It's still about my attitude. It's not about the situation. It doesn't matter. The circumstance is not the determining factor. Why? Because that's outside of me, and it's what's inside of me. It's what's inside of me that determines my attitude. And that's choice. My attitude is my choice, not my circumstance. My attitude is the way that I respond to the situation, not the situation itself. I have control over the way I choose and the way I choose to respond. Wow. Wow. So a situation has nothing to do, the circumstance has nothing to do. And it's why? It's because it's outside of me. And what does he say here? Internal happiness is the beginning of positive attitude. It comes from inside. Positive attitude, and then this positive yes attitude, always being able to find the positive in every situation. Wow, is it ever true? Attitude is not something you can that I can understand. It's not something that anyone can understand in one read. This is an incredible life changing awareness that is so simple. That is so simple. You know, yesterday we had almost all of our grandkids here. And it was just really, really fun, you know, interacting with them as adults. And, you know, everything that's going on in their life, it would be so easy to have like so many opinions, so many opinions about it in different areas in different ways. And it's just so cool that they actually, it was our oldest grandson's actually 21st birthday. And so it's just really, really, I'm really, really grateful for this work on, you know, not taking on, not having, just simply realizing that my, excuse me, that my work is in here. It's not so much out there. My first responsibility, like this whole thing where it says the most important person in any situation is moi, like it's in here. It's this work that has to get done inside that is most important, that has the biggest influence, that has the biggest value, that is, you know, what I need to be concerned about. And really doing that internal work of the internal attitude work, being conscious of what I'm thinking, and then knowing that I can choose what I think, and I can choose to have a positive yes attitude in any and in every situation. Like, it's really so liberating. Not only is it liberating for me, it's liberating for those that I'm living around and amongst and with. And so, wow, this is something I want to continue to study and remember and apply for the rest of my life. I've been doing it now for how many years? And I feel like every time it gets deeper and it gets deeper and it gets more profound. And the lessons keep coming and the awareness keeps coming. So I hope it does for you too. I'm really curious who gets to join me this morning, and a time change can sometimes mess things up. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. You all have an absolutely amazing day. And whether you're on live with me right now or whether you're watching this on replay, it's all perfect. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.